From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, this is an OU Update with Ryan Aber. I'm Jenny Carlson. Oklahoma opens Big 12 play only in Week 2 against West Virginia. Everybody remembers that West Virginia game from a year ago. Aaron Colvin remembers that game from a year ago. He actually talked about it and how difficult it was for the Oklahoma defense.
It hurt, I'm not going to lie, for us to give up those kind of numbers to a team like that. Don't get me wrong, they're a great team and their coaches do a great job of putting them in the right situation. But as far as the defense, especially here at the University of Oklahoma, it's not acceptable. And I mean, we had to move forward from it last year, and you know, it didn't pan out how we wanted. But this year, we remember what happened last year, and we'll be ready.
Well, Ryan, West Virginia, great team last year. Not exactly the same this year. What has changed for these Mountaineers?
Well, they've lost so much talent from last year, and so much of that talent that was so instrumental in giving OU's defense fits a year ago. They lost Geno Smith at quarterback, Tavon Austin, who just ran wild over the Sooners last year, and Stedman Bailey, who also had a big game. This is an offense that's retooled and didn't have the firepower that they had last year, at least against William & Mary last year.
Well, you mentioned William & Mary, and clearly some struggles against a lesser opponent on Saturday in their opener. Bob Stoops, though, says, hey, don't rest on West Virginia. They may not be as bad as they looked against William & Mary.
West Virginia, you know, Dana, he has his ball plays that he stays with, and they execute them well. So they were pretty vanilla in their first game, and I know we won't see a vanilla scheme, you know, in what they're doing against us. It'll be different. So we'll prepare, you know, for a lot of what we've seen all last year. Well,
what about that, Ryan? I mean, is there a chance that, you know, maybe West Virginia was laying a little low in the weeds?
Well, I think we've heard from a lot of people this week that said, oh, Bob Stoops, that's just coach speak. It's, you know, what he's going to say. It doesn't mean anything because they almost lost to an FCS opponent. Well, the problem is a few years ago in 2010, OU played a team, Utah State, who they should have rolled in the opener, and really struggled, needed a late play to win that game. The next week they had a Florida State team that was pretty solid, and they go out and beat them by 30.
Right.
So certainly, especially with it being a conference opener, West Virginia is going to throw a whole lot more at OU than they did at William & Mary last week. Even with that game tight in the second half, they didn't show their entire offense, and they showed a pretty vanilla defense. You're going to see more out of both those units this week in Norman.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.